What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-trance, as well as Luca instantly wanting to come up. Are you joining us? And yes, this is a tune by the Adventist. I reacted to the gallery mix, I think the most famous version of his Infinite track. That was from 1998. This is from a couple years earlier, and whereas Infinite is, I would say, melodic hard trance, but with some acid, this is very clearly and overtly acid trance, where acid and the trippy acidic environment is the main essence of the tune. There's 3 tracks on here. They're all actually quite similar, and 2 of them are identical in length. They're both 8:21, including the title tune, Destination, which is what we're going to listen to. And I think they're all kind of reworkings of the same set of ideas, but they do have some distinct elements, even the 2 that are identical in length, which is Destination and DSL Journey, and then the other one is called Tel Aviv, and that one's notably shorter and quieter, which is weird. Normally, you know, if there's multiple tracks on a record, they're all sort of pressed and mastered at the same sound level, but for whatever reason, Destination and DSL Journey are notably louder on the recording or on the pressing than is Tel Aviv. In any case, we're going to listen to the title track, as I said, Destination. It's 8.5 minutes long, so we'll get straight to it, but as I said, this is just a slice of vintage acid trance from '96, almost 30 years ago, and I think it stands the test of time beautifully. I think it's the right RPM. I guess we'll find out. Layer after layer added. Vortex acid. I still don't know exactly what that sentence is saying. You were taken under our something something destination. Obviously the last word is destination. Under our power to your destination. The tension string. So yeah, I mean it really is like exploring an alien planet type of acid trance tune, and that constantly rising and falling, rising multiple levels, coming back down, that very wavy acid lead. It reminds me of like radiation levels, like they're low here, but getting a little bit higher. They're peaking here. Okay, we're back in a safer zone. And then you have that beep, that electronic or robotic pulse, like a beacon going out rhythmically every several seconds. There's definitely that tension string that runs throughout a lot of the track. There's also that like tone that's like every other bar. I enjoy that. So it's a piece of not all that many ingredients, but when they come together, it really just gives me this otherworldly, futuristic sci-fi exploration of an uninhabited planet, or a planet that you so far don't know if anything does inhabit it. It really feels like the destination is somewhere in the future and somewhere far away from the solar system that we know. So yeah, a really cool tune. Love the acid trance. Again, there's different types of acid trance, and it depends on when you're talking exactly what I would expect when you use that phrase. But this is that mid-90s acid trance where like it's not even so much about a synth lead melody. It's not about like a hard trance driving bass line. It's like, let's just get tripped out with the acid work and just have a driving trance tune where acid is the main facet, and in multiple layers. So I really do enjoy it. It harkens to the kind of things that I fell in love with acid trance because of. Though I will say, this tune I didn't discover until later in the Discogs days. It was the Infinite track that he made a couple years later, which I heard at trance parties in like 98, 99, 2000. And that one really was fantastic, though as I probably explained in my reaction to the gallery mix, I didn't catch the vocal clearly. I didn't know. I was like, is he saying isn't it? Like I just couldn't hear the word infinite. It was only later when I discovered that was the title, and sure enough, sort of snapped up a copy quickly, and then clicked on the Adventist page and was like, this guy goes by some different names, and he did a different release a couple years earlier. And in those days YouTube was already around. It was like, oh man, like listen to these tracks on this Destination EP, I gotta get this. And then I picked it up. So yeah, it's the kind of record that I would have loved to have gotten back when I was first mixing, but I didn't get it until a few years later in the, I'd say, mid 2000s. In any case, do let me know what you think of this fantastic tune. As I said, the others on it are very similar, but that doesn't necessarily mean we won't come back and react to those. But yeah, many more acid trance tunes coming in reaction form, and at some point soon I am going to do another acid trance sessions video mix, so we'll look forward to that. Luca and I say have a nice day, have a nice evening, and I will see you next time. Peace.